Somewhere in your kitchen drawer right now there is a renewal letter you haven't opened, and the company that sent it is counting on exactly that. Every year, British pensioners hand over hundreds of pounds for things quietly designed to drain a fixed income, one direct debit at a time. Number 14 on this list costs 4 times what the identical product sells for 2 shelves away. Number 3 is a loyalty scheme that actually punishes you for being loyal. And number 1 is costing some retired couples over £300 a year for absolutely nothing. Before we start, tap that subscribe button because what you're about to learn could put real money straight back in your pocket. Let's count down the 25 things you need to stop buying this year. Number 25. Branded painkillers. Picture the chemist's shelf. A box of branded ibuprofen, bright and reassuring. £2.50 for 16 tablets. On the shelf just below it, the supermarket's own box, 39p for the very same 16. Here is the bit they bank on you never noticing. By law, the active ingredient is identical. 200 milligrams of ibuprofen is 200 milligrams of ibuprofen, whether it costs 39p or £2.50. The chemistry does not change. What changes is the enormous advertising budget baked into that price. Drug companies spend a fortune teaching us the shiny box works faster or is somehow targeted, but ask any pharmacist quietly and they will tell you it dissolves in your stomach in exactly the same way. Over a year, that branding alone can cost you £40 or £50. Buy the boring box. Number 24. Bottled water. There is a strange magic that happens between the kitchen tap and the supermarket shelf. The water that comes out of your tap for roughly 1/10 of a penny per litre suddenly costs 65p when poured into a plastic bottle with a picture of a mountain on it. British tap water is among the most tested and regulated in the world, checked far more rigorously than the bottled stuff. Yet a pensioner buying a couple of bottles a week, perhaps for trips out or the bedside table, can spend over £60 a year drinking something that flows freely from their own sink. A decent refillable flask costs a £5 once. Fill it from the tap, pop it in the fridge for an hour, and you have cold, clean water for nothing. The mountain on the label is the only thing you are actually paying for. Number 23. Pre-chopped vegetables. Walk past the chilled aisle and you will see them. A small tray of diced onion, £2. A bag of sliced carrot and swede, £1.80. A pot of chopped butternut squash that costs 3 times what the whole squash costs sitting 6 feet away. Supermarkets adore the prepared vegetable because they have discovered something powerful. People will pay handsomely for the 30 seconds it takes to peel an onion. The chopping does not just cost you money either. The moment a vegetable is cut, it begins losing freshness, so you are paying a premium for produce that will spoil faster. A whole bag of onions costs less than a single tray of the chopped kind and lasts for weeks in the rack. For anyone with a steady hand and a sharp knife, this is one of the easiest £40 a year you will ever save. Number 22. Branded household cleaners. Under most kitchen sinks in Britain there is a small fortune in coloured spray bottles. The bathroom spray, the kitchen spray, the glass spray, the limescale spray, each one £3, each one promising to obliterate a different enemy. Here is the secret the cleaning companies would rather you forgot. Most of these sprays are the same handful of cheap ingredients with a different perfume and a different label. A spray bottle of white vinegar and water cuts through limescale and grease beautifully. A tub of bicarbonate of soda scours a sink for pennies. Your grandmother cleaned an entire house with vinegar, bicarb and a bar of soap, and her home was spotless. The clever marketing convinced us we needed a separate weapon for every surface. You do not. 1 or 2 own brand basics will do the lot for a fraction of the price. Number 21. Greeting cards from card shops. There is something almost cheeky about it now. You pop into the high street card shop to buy a birthday card for a grandchild, and the till tells you it is £4.25 for one folded piece of card, with a few words inside that someone else wrote. A family that remembers every birthday, anniversary and Christmas can quietly spend over £100 a year on cards alone. The supermarkets sell perfectly lovely cards for under £1, and the multi-pack boxes work out at pennies each. Better still, the online card sellers will print, write, and post it directly to the door for less than the price of that single shop card, stamp included. The sentiment is in your handwriting, not in the price tag. Nobody opening a card has ever checked the receipt. Number 20. Branded batteries. That famous pink bunny has marched across our television screens for 40 years, and it has cost us a fortune. A pack of branded AA batteries can set you back £6 or £7, while the supermarket's own pack of the same size sits beside it for under £2. Independent testers have run these batteries side by side for years, and the honest finding is this. For the things most of us actually use, the remote control, the clock, the torch, the doorbell, the cheaper batteries last very nearly as long, and in many tests, just as long. The premium you pay for the famous name buys you a sliver of extra life you will likely never notice. Stock up on the own brand multipack and keep them in a drawer. Over a year of remotes and radios, the savings genuinely add up. Number 19. Multivitamins and most supplements. The shelves groan with them. Bottles promising energy, joint health, brighter mornings, a stronger heart, each one £15 or £20, each one whispering that your body is somehow running low on something. The supplement industry is worth billions, and it is built on worry. The honest truth, the one your GP will tell you for free, is that most people eating a reasonably varied diet are getting what they need from food, and a great deal of what is in those expensive pills simply passes straight through you. There are genuine exceptions. Vitamin D in the dark British winter is worth taking, and your doctor may recommend others for good reason. But the cabinet full of premium tubs bought on a hunch is money flowing away. Ask your GP what you actually need, then buy only that, in the cheapest version that exists. Number 18. Anti-aging face creams. Here is a promise the beauty counters make every single day, and it is one science quietly cannot keep. A small pot of anti-aging cream, 40, 50, sometimes £80, claiming to turn back the years. The uncomfortable fact is that the active moisturizing ingredients in the £80 pot are very often the same ones found in a £5 tub of simple moisturizer. The real difference is the jar, the perfume, the glossy advert with the famous face, and the small army of marketers behind it. Dermatologists will tell you that the single best thing for aging skin is sun protection and a basic moisturizer used regularly, neither of which needs to be expensive. The creams cannot iron out decades, no matter what the box says. Buy the plain moisturizer, keep your skin happy, and keep the £75 difference. Number 17. Printer ink. This one is almost a scandal. If you work out the price by volume, branded printer ink is one of the most expensive liquids you can buy in Britain, costing more per milliliter than vintage champagne. The printer companies practically give the machines away, sometimes selling them at a loss, because they know the real money is in the cartridges. A genuine set of replacement inks can cost more than the printer itself. Yet compatible cartridges, made to fit the very same machine, often cost a quarter of the price and work perfectly well for the odd letter, recipe, or photograph most of us print. The pop-up warning that screeches about non-genuine ink is the manufacturer protecting its profit, not your printer. For ordinary home printing, the cheaper cartridge will see you write and save you a small fortune. Number 16. Extended warranties, first pattern break, and this one is the classic trap. You are at the till buying a new kettle, a toaster, a telly, and a polite young person asks if you would like to protect it with an extended warranty. Just a few pounds a month, they say, for total peace of mind. Here is what they do not say. Those few pounds a month add up to far more than the appliance is worth, and the figures are brutal. Most of these gadgets either fail in the first year, when they are already covered free by law, or they last for many years and never break at all. You are insuring against a problem that rarely arrives, at a price that almost always loses you money. The consumer experts are united on this one. On small electricals, the extended warranty is one of the worst value products in the shop. A firm "no thank you" is the right answer every time. Number 15. Branded razors and blades. The razor itself is cheap, sometimes free. The blades are where they get you, and they get you for life. A pack of branded replacement cartridges can cost 12, 14, even £18 for a handful, and they are designed so only the matching handle will accept them. It is one of the oldest tricks in retail, the giveaway handle, and the eye-watering refill. Yet a simple safety razor, the kind your grandfather used, takes blades that cost a few pence each and shaves every bit as close. Even the supermarket's own multi-blade cartridges, perfectly good, cost a fraction of the famous brand. A man shaving daily can spend over £100 a year feeding a brand name handle. Switch the system once, and the cost of staying smooth drops to almost nothing. Number 14. Reading glasses from the optician. This is the 4 times markup I promised you, and it is a genuine eye-opener. Walk into a high street optician for a pair of simple reading glasses, and you can easily pay £40, £60, even £100 for the frames and lenses. Walk into the supermarket or the pound shop, and ready-made reading glasses in the exact same strengths sit on a spinning rack for £2 or £3 a pair. For straightforward off-the-shelf readers, the kind millions of people use for the crossword and the paper, the cheap ones do precisely the same job. Now, a word of care here. If you have a complicated prescription or different eyes, you do need the proper made-up pair, and an eye test every 2 years is non-negotiable for your health. But for simple reading, keep a £3 pair in every room and stop paying optician prices for magnification you can buy by the tray. Number 13. Senior ready meals. The supermarkets spotted the older shopper years ago, and they built a whole aisle for them. Smaller portions, softer textures, gentle packaging in calm colours, often with words like mature or classic on the front, and often a higher price per mouthful than the ordinary range 3 shelves over. The truth is, there is rarely anything special inside. It is the same kind of food in a smaller tray, sometimes with less in it, dressed up to feel reassuring. A pensioner relying on these can pay a premium for the privilege of being gently marketed to. The ordinary frozen meals, or better yet, a batch of homemade stew portioned into the freezer, cost a fraction and taste of something. There is no nutritional fairy dust in the senior label. It is a price tag wearing a cardigan. Number 12. Branded laundry products. Open the cupboard and look at what the washing costs you. The famous brand liquid capsules, the ones in the advert with the impossibly white shirt, can cost 30 pence or more per wash. The supermarket's own capsules and powders, sitting right alongside, cost a third of that and clean your clothes just as well for everyday wear. Which magazine and countless independent tests have shown the gap between premium and budget detergent is far smaller than the price gap suggests, and for ordinary grubby laundry, it barely exists at all. The same goes for fabric conditioner, where the own brand bottle smells lovely and softens just fine. Over a year of weekly washes, choosing the cheaper detergent can save a household £40 or £50. The shirt in the advert was white because of the lighting, not the brand. Number 11. Magazine and newspaper subscriptions on auto-renew. Here is a quiet little drain that catches thousands. You signed up for a magazine subscription years ago. Perhaps it was a gift, perhaps an introductory offer, 3 issues for £1, and then it renewed, and renewed again, at full price. The cozy thing about a subscription is that it asks nothing of you, which is exactly why it keeps taking. Many pensioners are paying for magazines that arrive and go straight on the pile unread, or for digital subscriptions to things they no longer use. The companies rely entirely on you not checking. Go through your bank statement line by line, just once, and look for every regular payment you have forgotten. Cancel the ones you no longer want. That dusty magazine subscription alone might be quietly costing you £60 or £70 a year for paper you do not read. Number 10. Full price travel insurance. If you still enjoy a holiday, and good for you if you do, never buy your travel insurance from the travel agent or the booking website at the moment of booking. That is the most expensive place to buy it, because they know you are in the mood to say yes. Bought separately through a comparison site or a specialist, the very same cover can cost a half or a third of the price. And here is a tip the industry would rather you missed. If you take more than 1 or 2 trips a year, an annual multi-trip policy almost always works out cheaper than insuring each holiday one by one. Older travelers and those with health conditions should use the specialist insurers who actually compete for your business, rather than accept the first inflated quote. Shopping around for 20 minutes can save you the price of a nice meal abroad. Number 9. Mobile phone contracts with the handset bundled in. This is one of the cleverest traps going, and it snares people of every age. You take out a monthly phone contract, perhaps £40 a month, and the phone comes free with it. Except it does not. You are paying for that phone in installments, hidden inside the monthly bill, and here is the sting. When the 2 years are up and the phone is paid off, an enormous number of people simply keep paying the same £40 a month, year after year, for a handset they own outright. You are renting a phone you have already bought. The smarter path is a cheap SIM-only deal, often under £10 a month for plenty of calls and data, paired with a phone you keep for years. Check your contract today. You may be paying double for nothing. Number 8. Premium television packages, second pattern break, and a controversial one in many a living room. That big satellite or cable bundle, the one with 300 channels and the sport and the films, can cost £60, £70, even £80 a month. That is the best part of £1,000 a year. Now be honest about how many of those 300 channels you actually watch. For most households, it is a handful, the same few every night. The television companies build the giant bundle precisely because it feels like value, when in truth you are paying for hundreds of channels you will never turn to. With the rise of cheaper streaming services, you can pick and pay for one at a time, and a simple Freeview box giving dozens of channels for free, the giant monthly bundle is harder than ever to justify. Cancel the sport you do not watch. The savings can be staggering. Number 7. Standalone boiler and appliance cover plans. The letter arrives offering to cover your boiler, your washing machine, your kitchen appliances for a comforting monthly fee. It feels sensible. It feels like looking after yourself. But run the numbers and these plans often quietly lose you money. A boiler cover plan at £15 or £20 a month is £200 or more a year, and over a decade that is enough to replace the entire boiler twice over. Many plans are riddled with exclusions and excess charges that mean when something does go wrong, you pay anyway. For most people, it works out cheaper to put a small amount aside each month into your own savings, a rainy day pot for repairs, and call out a tradesman when you actually need one. You keep the money you do not spend. The cover company keeps it whether you need it or not. Number 6. Mobility aids at full retail price. This one matters because it touches people who genuinely need help, and they are being overcharged in 2 ways. First, walk into a private mobility showroom and a stair lift, a riser recliner chair or a mobility scooter can carry a frightening price tag, often padded with commission. Shop around, buy reconditioned, or go through a reputable independent supplier and the same item can cost dramatically less. But here is the part too many people miss entirely. If you are disabled or have a long-term illness, you should not be paying VAT on these products at all. Many mobility aids qualify for VAT relief, knocking 20% straight off the price, yet thousands pay the full amount simply because no one told them to ask for the exemption form. Always ask whether the item is VAT-free for you. That single question can save hundreds of pounds. Number 5. Breakdown cover on auto-renew. If you still drive, you almost certainly have breakdown cover, and you almost certainly renew it without a glance. That is exactly what the big-name recovery firms are counting on. The loyal customer who never shops around is the most profitable customer they have, and the renewal quote they post you is rarely their best price. New customers, meanwhile, are tempted in with deals at a third of what you are quietly paying. The trick is simple, but it works. When the renewal letter lands, do not pay it. Ring them, tell them you are thinking of leaving, and watch the price tumble, or use a comparison site and switch to a cheaper provider offering the same recovery service. Drivers who have paid the same firm £120 a year for a decade are often astonished to find the identical cover elsewhere for £40. Number 4. Prepaid funeral plans. Third pattern break, and the most delicate on the list, so let me be careful and kind here. The instinct behind a prepaid funeral plan is a loving one. You do not want to leave your family with a bill or a burden. But this corner of the market has been troubled, with some plans offering poor value, hidden costs, or shaky companies, and a number have collapsed over the years, leaving families with nothing. Even the well-run plans can lock in a fixed package that may not suit your wishes when the time comes. There are gentler, safer ways to do the same loving thing. A simple savings account set aside for the purpose, kept in your own name, or an over-50s plan understood carefully, can give your family the money without the risk. Whatever you choose, never sign a funeral plan after a single doorstep or telephone pitch. Take the paperwork, take your time, and let someone you trust read it with you. Number 3. Supermarket loyalty card prices. Here is the scheme that punishes loyalty, and it has crept up on all of us. You will have noticed it. The shelf shows 2 prices now. The ordinary price and a much lower price you can only have if you scan your loyalty card. It feels like a reward. Look closer. Investigations have found that many of these so-called member prices are simply the normal price, while the higher non-member price has been quietly inflated to make the discount look dramatic. You are not always being given a deal. Sometimes you are being shown a fake higher price to make you feel clever. Worse, every scan of that card hands the supermarket a detailed record of everything you buy, which they use to nudge you into spending more. By all means, use the card to grab the genuine offers, but do not assume the loyalty price is a bargain. Compare it against the cheaper supermarkets, where the everyday price often beats the loyalty price anyway. Number 2. Energy you are not using. Your energy bill has 2 parts, and the one that catches people out is the standing charge, a daily fee you pay just for being connected, whether you use a scrap of energy or not. For a pensioner living alone, careful with the heating, that standing charge can swallow a huge share of the bill before a single light is switched on. The other quiet robbery is loyalty. If you have sat on the same supplier's default tariff for years, you are very likely on one of the most expensive rates they offer. The energy companies do not reward the customer who stays put. Check whether a fixed deal would save you money. Make sure you are claiming every penny of the winter fuel and warm home support you are entitled to, and never assume your current tariff is the best one. A single phone call to your supplier asking "Are you on my cheapest deal?" can shave a meaningful sum off the most painful bill of the year. Number 1. The insurance loyalty penalty. And here is the big one. The £300 a year for nothing I promised you at the very start. For decades, insurance companies played a shameful game. They lured in new customers with low prices, then crept the renewal up year after year on the loyal customers who never questioned it. The longer you stayed, the more you paid, purely for staying. It became known as the loyalty penalty, and it cost faithful, trusting, older customers the most because they were the least likely to switch. Rules have tightened to stop the very worst of it, but make no mistake, the gap between the renewal quote and the best price out there is still enormous, and the companies still rely on you simply paying what the letter says. Every single year, for your home insurance and your car insurance, do not auto-renew. Run a comparison, ring your insurer, threaten politely to leave. Couples who have done this for the first time in a decade routinely find themselves £300, £400, even £500 a year better off for the very same cover. That is not a saving. That is money that was being quietly taken from you. So there it is. 25 quiet little robberies, and not one of them requires you to go without. Pick just 3 from this list this week. Open that renewal letter. Cancel the warranty. Buy the boring box of tablets. Then tell me in the comments which one shocked you most and how much you clawed back, because I promise you are not the only one who has been overpaying. Your money is yours. It is high time the shops remembered that.